Alright, well, in this video, since I haven't done a video in a few weeks, I figured I'd get back on here. And I thought I would talk about the experience I've had over the last week because I was on vacation for 11 days. And then it was weird because it's then today I was thinking about kind of like momentum. Like during that 11 days where I wasn't doing my normal routine or even somewhat remotely close to it because I wasn't here and didn't have all the stuff that I usually do. I still meditated every day at least once, but I wasn't able to do it twice, and I wasn't able to watch as much stuff as I wanted to because I went to Disney World, so we were at the parks or relaxing or doing stuff, so we were always out doing things. And I kind of and it was weird because when I got back, I kind of just didn't really want to get on here. I didn't really want to do anything, and I kind of was just lazy for the last week. So it's like that momentum was kind of gone. And I'll take a week off here and there sometimes just to kind of regroup or just to chill because I feel like it's anything. Sometimes you just need that break. But I feel like that week is that that time period where you should get back to it after a week, because after 2 weeks of not doing anything, then I started to kind of lose momentum and not really wanting to do anything, and it took me almost another week to get back on here and actually do a video till today. And it was weird because I always talk that you have to take that first little action that's right in front of you, big or small, because finally I just said, all right, I'm gonna watch a YouTube video of something inspiring of Neville Goddard talking about the power of awareness and learning how I always talk about the assumption and visualization and seeing and feeling yourself as that person. So it got me back in the flow of doing that again. And I tell you, man, whenever you start doing that, you just start doing different things. You start it makes you feel different. It turns you into a different human being. And as crazy as it sounds, even when I first started hearing about that years ago, I never even really did it. I was like, how do you do that? How do you feel? What does that even do? Sure, is that going to work? And there's always that cloud of doubt that gets in the back of our mind. Why should we do that? Why should we believe that? Oh yeah, okay, whatever. At least for me, that's the way it was. But that goes with anything. I was trying to say, that, I just kept, for the last week, I was just, not wanting to get up. I was watching, movie after movie when I wasn't at work. And finally, I just said, you know what, I got to get up and do something. You gotta get that momentum going. And, just by watching that video, and then it went by. Then I was doing some light stretching the last couple days, and then so it was it stacked. That one action stacks on the next and the next and the next. But if you don't take that first one and get up off the couch and do something, then you're never going to get to the next action. And that's the thing, is our brain always tries to keep us from doing that stuff. Sometimes it always gives us every reason in the book why we should watch the next movie. There's good movies, and you do have to enjoy your time doing those things because, I love movies, and I love a good story. It's just something I like to do, something I like to watch. And, but you also got to learn that balance of when you can watch and when you need to get stuff done. And that's why I figured, why not just get back on here and at least do something? Because if I don't get on here and don't sit here and try to film something and be in this moment. Now, I did do a meditation before, and even that stuff gets you going because during the visualization, during the meditation, hearing these things about, divine, God's presence, pushing you through, guiding you through reality. Again, I've talked about it before, ask and you shall receive. It's I don't know, whenever I start what is it, not even really having faith, but just, acknowledging a presence bigger than myself, like an energy that, hey, give me some guidance here, hey, show me what you need me to do, like ask it for like what you want me to, how can I serve greater humanity, how can I help people, how can I do more, how can I do all these things, show me what you need me to do. Then it seems like just little inklings and stuff, come up out of nowhere. And I believe that and if you don't believe, that's fine too. But then I feel like it's that whole thing like they used to talk about in the Book of Five Rings. Open yourself up to an idea and the universe will show you the way. But if you keep that door closed and you don't believe, well, then the universe isn't going to show you the way. You have to open the door for those, that ability to come through. And it just comes in little inklings and stuff, like I didn't even plan on getting on here at all. I was watching a movie not too long ago. I just got done watching one of the Jason Bourne movies, which are awesome movies. But and then all of a sudden I was like, yeah, I better get my meditation done. And then all of a sudden I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna start watching. Then I started watching some videos about like coaching and all that stuff, and then it just kind of got me like in that flow again. But it was that next little step. I could have stayed on the couch and kept watching movies, but then I was like, no, I want to get at least something done, something little, maybe to create that momentum. Like, and that's the thing is like, when I first started out on this journey, I'd always hear him say, you have to take action. Doesn't matter what it is, you got to take action. And I was like, I don't know what action to take. So I wouldn't take any action. And it's just anything's action. Like, just like I said, getting off the couch, like moving a little bit. There's like light yoga you can even do. I need to do a video like that. There's like these exercises they used to show us in Pranic Healing to kind of like get things going. And then Dan Millman had some stuff. Like he had this like yoga and movement thing too, like a 10-minute thing. So I kind of took bits and pieces of all this stuff that I've learned over the years. And then every once in a while I just use it to kind of like awaken my body and get kind of moving. Because again, anything is energy, action, and motion is energy, emotion. So like there's so much stuff we can do just to start the engine a little bit and get it going. And that's the thing is you just need that little push, because we all know, God, what is it called in physics where something will keep moving in a certain direction, but it needs that first momentum to get going. It's almost like when you take the snowball and push it down the hill. By the time it gets to the bottom, it's a gigantic ball. It'll knock someone over. But again, if you don't create the first thing and get it rolling, then it's not going to get that momentum to keep going. And that's why I feel like anything you can do, like anything, like you got to start. Like for me, I was like, today I thought, all right, why not get a goal of just starting to do something and watch some of these videos again. Because once I get going, I feel like I get that momentum, but like something has to start that momentum. And Tony talks about it all the time. Tony Robbins' momentum is it's huge once you get it going. That's why I figure even if you do one small thing each day, and then keep building on it and stacking on it and keep going, because again, it's the little things that add up. Like Dean always likes to talk about it too. Small hinges swing big doors. And it's true though, because you got to start off small and just keep going and going and going. And instead of like getting frustrated with yourself like I do sometimes, just start doing something. And it's weird because like I was saying, the last like week or whatever, I've been kind of lazy and not wanting to get back on here because I kind of lost that momentum. But it was like just doing that little getting up off the couch and just doing one little thing. That's all it took. And then all of a sudden, then the next thing comes, and then the next thing. And I can't tell you what that is in your life. That's something for you to find out. But we all have that, wherewithal within us just to do something. Whatever it is you choose to do. And just sometimes by awakening your body, it gets the ball rolling. It gets everything started. And then you just see what comes next. And that's the thing about the present moment, is you never know. But if you don't do anything, then you'll never gonna know anyway. But And like I was just thinking of like kind of even like setting goals of just even set one little goal for a week or even more, whatever. But just having one little thing, because like today I was like, you know what, watching that one video about outcome coaching made me think, okay, that that makes a lot of sense. Is what is the outcome of what it is you're trying to create? What is the outcome that I want to see? I want people to realize they are capable of doing more. I want people to learn that you can create momentum step by step, little by little, day by day. And if you keep going, and again, you are going to have moments like I've had over the last few weeks of losing that momentum, but the only way to get it back is to do something. Okay, now I remember what I was going to say. I had something going there a minute ago, but it was like I hate it because sometimes I'm like I sit on there, watch a few movies, and then all of a sudden I start watching start watching a video on YouTube or something, and then I get in the momentum, and then it's late, and I got to go to bed, and I'm like, man, why didn't I get up off the couch 2 hours ago? Why did I watch that next movie? But again, that's the thing. That's the learning curve of learning to have that discipline to say, hey, one movie's enough. But anyway, you got to learn how to do something small, and it reminds me too of the last little story of like Brian Tracy had a book called like No Excuses or something, and I remember when I found it, I just happened to be going through Amazon one time, and it was late. Like I'd been up all night just messing around on the internet. It was like 4 or 5 in the morning. I was really tired, and then I didn't want to do it. I was like, I'll just save it and I'll read, because like it had a preview of the book online, and you could read the first chapter, and I was like, it's late, and finally I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. So I read the first chapter, and it talks about doing things even when your brain and your mind's telling you not to, and that you got to get rid of these excuses of I'm too tired or I don't feel like it, because those are the times that you have to do something. So like challenge yourself when you say I don't want to do this or I don't feel like doing this. And like during that time period, that's kind of what got me going, because the book said when you say that to yourself, and Tony used to say this too, is that then you must do it. Like if you ever say to yourself, I don't feel like doing that, well then you have to do it. So for like a time period I was doing that. Anytime I said it to myself, I was like, well, looks like I got to do it right now. So I just thought that was crazy that like the book, the experience I was having, I read about in that first chapter of not wanting to do something but do it anyway. And that's the thing is, do we ever really want to do anything? I mean, yeah, I'm sure I do. I'm sure we all do, but there are those days where you just don't feel like doing anything, and then you don't, and it's like you gotta power through that, and you just gotta do it anyway, because I feel like that's the thing, is that I remember during college sometimes I'd go to the library, and I knew I had to get the assignment done, and my mind would be like, oh, we'll just do it later, and then I'd be like, no, we're doing this right now. Okay, we'll take a 10-minute break, but we're getting back to it. And then I'd walk out of Oakland's library at 5 a.m. with the assignment done and everything done, and I felt like I was on top of the world. And you get that rush of energy because you did it no matter what. And I feel like that's what it is when you don't feel like doing something, but you do it anyway. Then you get that surge of energy, that rush of excitement because you actually push through. And I feel like we got to get better at doing that. Like just, and I don't know who said it or where it's at, but like that's what they say, is that we all have those things inside of us. We all have that conflict going on in our mind. But successful people say, I'm going to do it anyway, regardless of what's going on. Screw you, mind. Don't tell me what to do. I'm doing this anyway. So that's my message for the day is, momentum, action, little things, just, get up there and don't be too hard on yourself. The things I'm saying is just, telling you the experience I had over the last week. It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We all have those days where we're lazy. We all have those time periods where we lose momentum. But the thing is you can always change that momentum in this present moment and just do one little thing and keep adding them up and adding them up and adding them up and have an outcome that you want to get to. and a goal or something, even if it's little. Mine is to start watching one of these videos every day, and then see where that leads, because you can always stack these little actions on top of each other, and then next thing you know, you got something great done. So again, but anyway, that's my message. Like and subscribe if you like the video, you want to hear more. You guys all have a good day.